Asexuals Anonymous, the podcast where we talk all about asexuality. If you would like to get in contact, please do. We love reading all your emails. I've actually just found a load of emails in my junk, which I didn't realise were there. So thank you so much. We're going to delve into them today. But if you'd like to get in touch, please do. It's asexualsanon@hotmail.com or DM me on TikTok, Amy Butler 66, AMIE BUTLER 66, or DM me on Instagram, Amy Butler 96. Let's get on with the episode. Hello, I've got my anonymous friend with us again this week. Hello, Anonymous.
Hola. Oh, I think I did Spanish last time.
What are you bringing today?
Guten Tag, bit of German.
Oh, I never did German.
I did German briefly. It's a very interesting language, but no, it didn't really stick so much. So I can stop at Guten Tag.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's a good place to stop because I have no response here.
Fine, it's fine. It's all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm tired. I feel like I've had a really tired week, which is really annoying because I've not really done anything. But I also think that's the problem.
Yeah, I usually sleep better when I've been busy and my brain's been busy.
Yeah, next week is the start of my 3 week wild time, so I cannot wait to do that. I am doing a play, for those that don't know, called The Lost Lionesses, all about the Women's World Cup in 1971. There's also a documentary on it called Copper 71, which is really cool because it's not just about the England team, the documentary, it's about all the teams that were involved. But we're telling the story of the England team. So if you're interested in women's football, get some tickets, check us out. We're in Bedford this week, but hopefully we're bringing it back to London.
Yeah, and I saw it the first time that you guys did it, and it was phenomenal.
It
It
was
was
good,
so
right?
good. It was so good. It was brilliant. I mean, I've watched the documentary as well, and I obviously you said it before, I'm interested in women's football, but it was brilliant, and you absolutely smashed it.
Oh, thank you. I actually can't wait. I can't wait to be back with the gang, and it's changed a little bit as well, so I'm excited to see the changes.
That'll be
And
good.
yeah, get back onto it really. How have you been? How's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. I feel like I'm just slowly trying to creep to the end of the longest month in the world.
Yeah,
But no, I'm good. I'm good. Nice chilled weekend,
yeah.
and then
I feel like we should acknowledge also the fact that we're very late putting this episode out.
yeah, sorry guys.
Sorry. I'd like to say it won't happen again, but I can't keep that promise.
Yeah, we were both very busy, but even though neither of us really did anything, but we were both really busy for some strange reason.
Yeah, that is so true actually. We just couldn't find a time that like matched up, could we?
Yeah, no,
Oh
it's
well.
true.
We've got it now, so hopefully I'll get this out as soon as possible. But also we're gonna record a couple more episodes, so we've got some in the bank.
Yes, when you're off being a award-winning actress.
Stop it, girl. Stop it.
It's true, it's true.
Right, let's get on with this episode then. I have, like I said in the introduction, found some more emails, which is really exciting. So
Cool.
let's go. So, as always, we're going to keep it anonymous as it doesn't state whether they want to be anonymous or not. So, this one says, "Hi, Amy. Hello from California. Hi."
This is so cool.
I love it when it's across the seas. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it is.
Um, I started listening to your podcast a couple of weeks ago and I love it. It makes me feel like I'm chatting with my ace gal pals, something I've never had in real life. Aww.
That's cool.
That is really cool. Your conversations are so relatable and validating. So much of the ACE content out there is very asexuality 101. So your podcast is such a breath of fresh air. I would love to be a long distance friend. Absolutely. Come join the gang.
Yeah.
And if you're ever interested in having another anonymous guest, let me know. I spend a lot of time journaling about my ACE experience, so I feel like I'm always brimming, sorry, having a malfunction, brimming with topics to talk about. All the best. Oh my goodness, 100%. Let's get you on the podcast ASAP. I will
Yeah,
give you a
let's
little
do
email
it.
back.
That's really cool. And
Really?
also, it's good that people have got other stuff that they might want to talk about, because me and you, we just, fumble around inside our brains and just talk about ourselves. So it'd be good if anyone's got anything specific that they would like to talk about.
The fact we
We're here.
literally
We're here for
sometimes
it.
don't even plan stuff. We're like, just record, see what happens, see
Yeah.
what comes out.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But it
And
works
normally,
out. It always works out for the best. It's
I
fine.
was gonna say, normally those episodes are like the half an hour long ones, and then the planned ones are like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I prefer the chaotic ones because that's just our vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's so fun. Cool. Thank you so much for that email. I will get back to you, book in a time. So next email is more of a question.
Okay.
Here we go. Again, keeping anonymous. Hi, loving the podcast and so impressed with how far you've come. As an ally who is committed to doing the work to be informed and sensitive to the issues the LGBTQIA plus community faces, I have a question for you. How do you feel about the love is love quote? I'm aware that you and Anonymous don't identify as aromantic, but as it's an identity under the asexual umbrella, I'm wondering how you feel about its use. Does it exclude aromantic people? Should we be using it? It's a phrase associated with pride and the acceptance of how and who you love. But I just worry for those who do not experience that emotion, it's excluding. I would hate to use it and defend a part of the LGBTQIA plus community that already faces less understanding than some of the other identities. Your thoughts on this would be appreciated so I don't put my foot in it. Thanks for helping to educate me so that I can be a better ally. What you're doing is so important.
That was a lovely message.
That's actually from one of my friends, which is so
Ah,
nice. Thank you
that's
so much.
nice.
Um,
And you know what? It's quite nice to get a message from an ally.
it is, it is, it is. I will also keep her anonymous, but I know who it is, and I will give you a little message. Thank you so much. Also, she's like a very dedicated listener, which
Oh,
is
well, that's nice.
so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've got a few of my friends who listen as well, so we appreciate you guys too.
Oh, hello, friends. So have you got thoughts on this?
It's a very interesting way of thinking about the whole love is love kind of quote. I don't think I've really thought about it in that way before,
No, I definitely haven't, to be fair.
or to that level, and I can see like it is a very interesting way of thinking about it. Me personally, I really like that quote. That's kind of my like that's my level of like I don't know, understanding of the quote. I really like it. It's very simple to understand, and as far as I take it is basically it doesn't matter who you are, how you identify, you can love who you want to love and you deserve that, and nobody should be able to say to you you can't have that or you won't have that or you shouldn't have that. Like,
I think it's quite defining.
yeah.
Like it does what it says on the tin. It is what it
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
and it's short and sweet, and it is the message of kind of pride, I guess, like what she said. Um,
Yeah, and I also think like that's that is what love should be. Love should just be love. It shouldn't be anything other than that. It shouldn't be hate or discrimination or like anything else. It should just be
yeah.
love.
A couple of things I want to tackle within this though is first of all, is a romantic under the asexual umbrella?
For me, again, like we continuously always say, not experts. I
Not
would
experts.
I would probably say no. I would probably say those are two different identities and you could identify as both of those,
Mm,
but like you can be trans and be gay and they're not the same, but you can still be both.
yeah,
But they're not under the same kind of umbrella. So
because
I would be leaning towards saying no.
I always thought they were different. So I thought there was asexuality and then aromantic.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I thought they were different identities. But the A kind of stood for both in the is it acronym? In the
Yes, it is. I mean, it depends. I think yeah. I think it could stand for both. We had that whole chat about how some people thought that the A stood for ally. So I think
I mean, I
people.
think that's a definite no. But
Yes, I agree. But I think people can, if they're ace, like as in asexual, or if they're aromantic, I think they can. Those people are allowed to pick what the A stands for.
yeah. But
But
I
yeah,
I
I
very
would
much
say
saw them
different.
I literally saw them as two different identities, as if you were gay and trans. You know, they're different identities. Um, but obviously you can identify as both because you can identify as asexual and aromantic.
Hmm.
So if they were under the same umbrella, you wouldn't be able to identify as both. I mean, I could be confusing the hell out of this right now, but that's kind of how I understood it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. I would say
They were different
because
identities.
when you look at like asexuality and you look at all the kind of subcategories underneath, they all kind of do center around similar things.
Because also, sex and romance are completely different things.
Hmm.
Because I would say, yeah, like I can't remember if I just said this or not, but I would say that I identify as asexual but not aromantic. But then you do
Yeah.
get people who identify as both.
Yeah, or people who just identify as aromantic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think I'm gonna go with they're not the same thing, or they're not. So aromantic isn't under the asexual umbrella.
I think that they're very heavily linked in terms of like both of those kind of. It's like what we say is like asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction. So they're both yeah, gross, vile, but they're both kind of similar in that the definitions of what they are a lack of something,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's a
there's a lack
without.
of romantic attraction, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's a lack. It's a withdrawal of, or like it's a
Yeah, obviously we
without.
wouldn't say that because that's
I
not
don't
like
like the word lack. All right.
no, we don't lack, we don't. But but I think that's why that they're a bit more intertwined, I think, possibly than
Yeah.
other areas of the LGBTQIA plus
Which
acronym.
also brings me on to romance and love are different as well. So
Yes.
aromantic people very much can still feel love for someone,
Hmm.
which then brings me to the conclusion of I personally don't think that the term love is love would bring offense to aromantic people or necessarily exclude them. What?
No, I think it kind of goes against the message if it's excluding anyone, because the whole message is that it's inclusive of everyone, that everyone should be able to love
Yeah.
someone.
And if
So
they
I would
don't
probably,
love, sorry, carry
yeah,
on.
no, it's fine. I would probably say if you wouldn't you. I don't want to say you shouldn't get offended because if people want to get offended, you go right ahead. But I
Yeah.
don't think the intention is there to offend, and I don't think if you use that phrase, you would be offending someone.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. It would be interesting to see the point of view of someone who does get offended or feel excluded from the phrase love is love, and I'd love to like know why in a way because I don't think it would be because they are aromantic. I don't
Yeah,
really think
I find